Welcome, everybody, to a special ASMR version of High Alpha Hooligans, as requested, where you can get inside the cockpit with us, and you can...
No.
Oh,
No. Stop.
We're good.
You said it sounded creepy when I did it.
Yeah.
Episodes back.
You
No,
just
it
went
was
free-
substantially more
Yeah,
creepy.
you just went free candy van on our little.
Welcome to Hooligans Candy Van.
We got a stranger danger over here.
Do you like puppies?
No, he's like, you like free modules? I got free modules. Like,
Opens up the trench coat.
Fine.
he wearing that Momo.
So yeah, Fifi got a new microphone and he's super excited about it.
I did. Now I can sit here like a
Uh,
sports announcer, and I'm like, yo, what's up?
you
It
don't
also
have to
hides
hold
my
it like
man
that,
boobs.
though. I mean,
I feel
I was gonna.
I wish I had
There's more I could say.
I wish I
there.
had
I'm
this
not
with the
going to.
dogfight tournament, because I could sit there like the announcers off of Ted Lasso. Sorry for the cheeky commentary.
Welcome to High Alpha Hooligans, everybody. I'm Scud, and as always, Fifi and Jimmy are here, and we've got two guests with us. If you're watching, you'll see one of our guests doesn't have a camera. He's a shark with laser beams, and that's Sharko. And then we've got our Oscar Piastri's little brother lookalike guy. That's free.
Oh, good.
And
hello. He's actually the.
these guys. Go ahead.
He's actually the face of the new DCS aftershave line. So he'll look for him
Jeez.
coming on a bottle near you.
Thank you.
Tearing him apart. Sharko was a smart one. Didn't decide.
It's
not
not
to
a
come on
bad thing to
camera.
be compared to Oscar Piastri.
No,
I
I'm
mean,
just saying, Free's a handsome dude.
Anyways, Free and
I paid
Sharko
him for
are
that,
on-
by the way.
It's fair.
I believe that Jimmy he'll do anything for a
He sent me a
dollar.
skin.
Jimmy-
It was a custom livery.
Jimmy will do anything to pass carrier quals. That's really what that means.
But see,
Really?
I actually passed it.
You're saying that of all people.
Hey,
Do you remember the 232 carrier qual night? Dude hits the back of the boat. He's like, "Oh, my computer crashed, guys."
Yeah. It's a convenient excuse every
Got and I
time.
are sitting there like on 2 and 3 wires, and we're like, "Boosh!" We're like,
I feel so called out about that, but it's true.
You started
It's
it.
true.
Dude.
It's always my excuse. Torpedo at the back of the tanker.
So-
My computer crashed.
All that for that thing.
Yeah.
This episode is a deeper dive into like Milsim stuff, and that's why these guys are on as guests. Both Free and Sharko are the commanders of Milsim Squadrons, one Viper and one Hornet Squadron, and that's going to be the topic, and we're going to kind of pick their brains on what it's like to build and run one of these Milsim Squadrons. But first off, let's give them a chance to introduce themselves. So, Free, if you'll go first, just tell the listeners and viewers about yourself, what got you into DCS, who you are, and then we'll give Sharko a chance.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm Bree. I do not have a background in aviation at all. I'm actually an environmental engineer. But growing up in 2012, I remember this. I went to the Discover Aviation Days, and that was my first air show. Got hooked ever since, and always pulling up flight radar, looking up at the skies. And in college, one of my best friends, Jerry, he eventually went on to the Montana Air National Guard, but we bonded over aviation, and he comes back from training, and all he is talking about is this DCS thing. Didn't know what it was. And I go up and visit him, and I figured out exactly what it was. He had the full HOTAS, TREC-R, everything like that, and immediately I was hooked. So about a year later, I get my own setup, learn how to build a PC, and get my own HOTAS, TREC-R, all that stuff, and then just ran with it. So, and Jerry's a low master on a C-130. So, Fifi, the whole reason I'm here is because of C-130s. And
Yes.
he did his homework.
Absolutely. Good answer.
but it is true. And a couple years go by, maybe 3-ish years, just playing with my friend Jerry and doing Grace
speak.
Leg and and just going the multiplayer servers that everyone sees, the Growling Sidewinders, all of that. And around April, I saw a Reddit post on Hoggit, and I was looking for a community just in general because I wanted to branch out a little bit and see what else DCS has to offer. And these guys were promoting their first episode. I joined their Discord, and it was just a wonderful community, and frankly, exactly what I was looking for. And fast forward a few months, and the reason I'm here is I run one of their Milsim Squadrons. So,
No. You run the frickin' Hornet Squadron, dude.
Yeah,
I do. So, yep, that's why I'm here, and hopefully you can offer something interesting.
Hell yeah.
nice. Glad to have you here. It's always good to fly with you. It's
So
nice to have you
I
on the
do
podcast.
Thank you
wanna
very
point
much
out-
for having me on.
I do want to point out something I just noticed. Do you recognize everybody has gotten a DCS because they had a friend who played DCS? Nobody has like organically
Everyone.
discovered the game. Like it's like everybody has got a friend. Like it's like 6 steps from Kevin Bacon of DCS.
I want to know.
Wizard's like the only one I know that is like patient zero.
Yeah, I was going
really?
to say, who is
I-
player 0, player X? Like,
Yeah, like
Yeah.
like
did
it's
he
like
come
it's
from
like
Yeah, Wizard was back when it was just Black Shark by
Yeah.
itself as the original,
like who
and
is
I think he's patient zero.
yeah, exactly like
like-
who is the Adam and Eve of DCS? Like the rest of humanity has got to DCS humanity has got to have come from somebody.
It had to start somewhere.
So Wizard is John DCS. Okay.
Yeah,
Sharko, why don't you tell the viewers about yourself and what got you to DCS?
Absolutely. My name's Sharko. That's my latest username online. I never really had an interest for aviation. I guess like at a really young age, but I vividly remember going to the Smithsonian Air and Space Museum, the one before it got renovated.
that's an awesome
And-
museum.
I
Yeah.
loved it. I just wanted to go up to everything, saw like the Blackbird, that 747 cockpit, and I was hooked. So I always had that like general interest of flight, I guess. Until I guess a couple of years ago when I got into like PC gaming, got the whole rig built, which was decent enough to run like new AAA titles. And I was thinking, why not try out a flight sim since I've had this like passion for aviation for so long. And I didn't know if I would like them or not. So I literally I searched up flight sim on Steam, hit enter, found DCS, hit download. Simple as that.
He just tripped
Yeah.
and fell right.
I
into
am the
best
patient zero.
combat sim that's ever been built.
so yeah, we found the organic DCS player. And then how many friends did you get into DCS after that?
Oh, a lot.
There it is.
It's
all
it's
descendants
definitely
of
5
Sharko.
plus at this point. But I just straight up downloaded it and loved it. And I want to say my first couple of years playing was solely single player. Mainly because I was like genuinely like scared to go online and get like, I don't know, harassed and team killed. But come like 2024 and I'm just like, I'm getting tired of this, right? I mean, I can do all this stuff in single player, so might as well take it to the multiplayer servers. So by then, I'm hopping around through groups, and I eventually settle on one. And we're up there for a couple of months, and then everything just crumbles. But another member of our High Alpha Hooligans Discord, Blackbird, actually invited me to this Discord before we started podcasting. And since then, I've been happy to be here. I like to think I make an okay contribution to here. So,
Oh, big time. He
Those
says,
for-
oh,
You
For those who don't
Jimmy
know.
says he's just a janitor and mops the floors, but Sharko keeps the system.
Oh,
running.
Yeah,
Sharko
for
does-
those who don't know,
Yeah.
Sharko definitely like does a lot of like the
He's
bot
our
and
IT
moderator
department.
work on it. Yeah, he does all the IT work for the podcast. Sharko, if everybody will recognize, Sharko is actually the voice behind the guy who kept everybody in line during the dogfight tournament too.
Yep.
So
Ah,
Yeah.
yes.
yeah,
He put a ton of work into that.
Sharko's a very integral part of the group.
yes.
yeah. And the thing I appreciate about Sharko is Sharko never says no, and he doesn't immediately put out a product, but he puts out a product that is good and quality. So, like the Discord, he manages one of his backpack of hobbies that he does for us is organizes the community inside Discord, and it's fantastic. So
Yeah, no, I take some
Wholeheartedly
pride in that.
agree.
But
For for us to sit there and just bitch at him about stuff too, because we'll just
Yeah, it's that's the problem with having somebody that really knows how to run all the technical stuff behind the scenes, is that we totally lose the skill. And so anytime anything doesn't work, we're just, Sharko, help, Sharko.
We'll try and build something, and we're like, hey, Sharko, we messed it up again. He's like, hold on, 5 minutes.
fixed. Great. We are that stupid.
So Sharko, you run a Milsim Squadron as well.
Indeed, I do. I run the V309 FS, which is the Viper Milsim Squadron. So, when anybody who wants to come fly the Viper and is eager to learn,
Yeah.
If you're afraid of the Hornet and boat stuff, Sharko.
if you want to fly Superior Jet, one or the other.
the
Or-
shit talking is never ends.
Oh, it's
never
not gonna end,
ends.
dude.
Oh, it never ends.
I
So,
do.
previous episode that these guys had, talked about the 16 versus the 18. We all know that the answer is the 18, so
No.
come on down to VMFA 312.
You
should put their cameras side by side and have a boxing
yeah,
match.
just have them fight each other.
So
Yeah.
one question I have for Sharko, you kind of breezed over some of the other groups that you've been a part of. Could you speak to maybe some of the demonstration stuff you've done in the community?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. About a year ago, I was surrounded by some people in the community, in the DCS general community. They're like, I think that it'd be a good idea for us to get some demos, to get some virtual demos, and we'll recreate some of the demonstrations that people see every day on YouTube, whatever, or go to an air show and see it. So I am co-founder of the Virtual Belgian Air Force Airbags component. We do solo displays is our main thing right now. So we have 4 of them currently running, all with historic liveries. So all 4 of them we're actually on the Belgian F-16s. And we take pride in our work, and we definitely have some projects going on behind the scenes that a lot of people will enjoy.
It's impressive
Cool.
stuff.
Yeah. I watched it when you posted it up, and I was like, that's a really cool demo.
I watched the demo last week, and I was sitting there, I had football up on one hand, and I had like demonstration team on the other. I'm trying to like watch back and forth.
Picture that thing.
You know what you needed? You needed the
Cool liveries too.
well, you know what you needed? You needed the A10 Jahemics, where you can have picture in picture. Yes.
Little scorpion action.
Yeah, there you go.
So, on the topic of Milsim, and you both being squadron commanders, and not to advertise our group, but this is more about in general. But it kind of happened where there was kind of a call for more Milsim in the group that we fly on, and
There is rumbling.
so the offer was just thrown out there. Fifi kind of threw it out and said, with his experience and background in it, he said, if here's what I want, here are the products and the standards that I want you to build, have at least 2 airplanes, and you can have a Milsim Squadron. And you both were pretty keen to jump up and say, I'll do it. Free, you don't have any Milsim experience prior to this, and Sharko, you do. But how was that experience like kind of out of nowhere, suddenly jumping in and diving into starting this? What was that like?
Well, the decision right away was pretty spontaneous. It's like, that sounds pretty fun. Frankly, didn't know what I was
little
getting
did he
myself
know.
into, because obviously I wasn't part of a Milsim Squadron before, but it was just kind of the next step that I wanted to take. Like, I joined a great group and wanted to, like I said, just take a jump into Milsim, and what better way of joining a squadron that's in my vision.
Yep.
So, like Fifi's alluding to, it was a lot at first, but I like a lot. And I also kind of made it a little hard on myself, because one thing I do is dive very deep into things that I really care about that really does not matter in the grand scheme of things. Like, for example,
You crazy.
True. So, in the training server here, we are based out of Novorossiysk, up in the northern part of the map. And I spent like 2 days going on Russian sites, Google Translate and everything, made a nice historical briefing because the airfield in DCS isn't exactly what it is in real life because it never was a military base like that, except for World War II. So there's a lot I learned about it, but it was very hard to find. It's not really in English at all. So that was a lot of fun. But overall, just getting back to the point here, it's really rewarding, but certainly a lot of work. But I will say I'm surrounded by a wonderful group of pilots and just the organization in general. So I was off to a very good start with a lot of help and a lot of resources.
I also want to point out about how we definitely know that we made the right decision. Like when everybody came forward and wanted to like head the squadrons, is because Free and both Sharko have both admitted that they showed up with notebooks to this episode with notes.
Yes, they did.
Like organization, there it is. Like
Yeah.
the organization is key, and
Well,
yeah.
We kind of, I know I a little bit on Sharko because I'm not really a Viper driver, but more so with Free, he's like, yep, I'll run this, and the squadron suddenly creates, and then here's me and Jimmy and Fifi and other people like unloading every Milsim document we've ever had in his
Right into his
Discord.
lap.
It's like here's like Enron shredding files out the windows worth of like paper we're just dumping on you, and here
I've got
dig your way
every
through it and
name
find information.
every NATOPS
And-
under the book, the ATP 56. Hell, I was even getting to T45 stuff because their figures were in color instead of black and white like the 18 or CV NATOPS. And it was like, it was a lot to filter through. But I will say, just, having these guys and a couple other people, one I want to shout out here is Toby with DCS from DCS for Disabilities, because these guys have experience, especially Scud here being a B-52 an airline pilot and a couple other things that I was able to ask straight from the horse's mouth what things are, because obviously I'm an engineer, I'm not a pilot. So trying to make things as close as possible, it really pays to surround yourself with great people, and I just lucked out with that.
I think the squadron lucked out having you, and I think the same about Sharko. But I want to get his take on what
Yeah.
it was like diving into the creation of this.
Yeah. I definitely did kind of dive into the deep end when I started with the whole Milsim thing. I was approached by Chaos, and he was like, "You fly the Viper, right?" I'm just like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Do you want to head the Milsim Squadron?" And I was like, "Sure." Mainly because I've always wanted to have like a more than casual group, but also one that isn't crumbling apart behind the scenes, which is unfortunately what I find in a lot of squadrons.
A lot of them.
Sorry
are.
to laugh on that one.
Am I wrong?
That one hits close to home. It is close to home.
Yeah.
And part of the wonderful experience that these guys were able to talk about to not do that.
Yeah.
So we're learning from past experiences.
And I want to shout out, I guess, the other person who runs the squadron with me, which is Blue Winged. He's done a great job. Just also, he jumped onto the gun quick and was like, "Yeah, I want to lead with you." So, at this time, I had been in some squadrons here and there, and I've never really felt satisfied with the work they've done, or they've crumbled apart. So, I enjoyed flying with the High Alpha Hooligans, but I always want like a bit more. So Blue and I just go and set up this little room for us. We settle on a squadron name, get some little promotion, like some brand kitting out here, and then it's pretty much history from there. So all we did was kind of get the structure from Fifi, Chaos, and Scud, tried to abide by it. And then I guess another thing is gathering docs. A lot of the single player experience I talked about in the past was also me just hunting for docs. So I kind of came prepared. So I know Free was saying that he just got dumped with docs, like all of the Word files you can find. But for me, it was like, I already have these. I've been dying to use them anyways. So I was able to pull out some old air combat command books, some declassified intercept experiments, the F-16 manuals from the Hellenic Air Force and Korean Air Force, and the ATP-56 that Free shared with me was very useful. But I think that also kind of represents camaraderie. Like, even though I guess we do butt heads because of Hornet Viper, it's all in good fun. And generally, we do help each other out when we need to, or just want to.
Yeah.
So
That is true. A lot of the behind the scenes coordination with both of us.
You guys holding hands and helping each other, then
Synergy.
publicly
Exactly.
shitting all over each other.
Synergy.
It's
Shared mental model.
yeah, but it's like you said, Sharko. You know, it's the group, it's the community, right? Because this is a tool or like a platform to grow that community of people that you can fly with, that you can have fun with, right? Because that's what this is like at the base of it, you know. Because there's a different part of, you know, video game space for everybody, and you know, some people get satisfaction from games, or you know, stress relief, or however you want to look at it, in different ways.
exactly.
And
Yeah.
there's a big call, you know, in the digital combat simulator realm for people to emulate that high level of operations, because that's why we get into it, you know, because you can get into so many other games where you just hit, you know, start engine, one key, you know,
Yeah.
flips, you know, little, everything goes, you know.
And I think
So
a lot of the times that kind of concept is lost in the Milsim Squadrons, in the sense that once a squadron starts becoming like a chore to you, then I think the fun's kind of lost, and that's when things start to just fall apart. So,
That was my next question was going to be, we all of us really like Milsim Squadron stuff, but it is definitely a balance, keeping it fun and entertaining and not having it turn into a grind, and not feeling like you know, the boss is mad at you because you're not training enough on a video game. And so I was going to ask, as guys running these squadrons, how do you feel like that is to balance? What's your going in argument on how to keep it, you
fun.
know, set to standards in training while still making it enjoyable and fun and not turn into a grind? And
Well, I think the biggest thing, and this is something that Fifi really harps on, is just go fly. You know, don't worry about the documentation. I'll put that out there, the SOP, the briefings, all that fun stuff. So you know what to fly, how to fly, but just get out there. You know, it just, as people are flying, then it just creates more community, it creates more conversation. And one thing that, especially now that we're, you know, out of the very first stages, is delegating a little bit. So, you know, having people create briefings and documentation on what they would like, but only if they want to, because in the end, it's just a hobby, not a job. Let's just talk about this today with one of our members, and you know, they're like, I don't know how much I can show up. I was like, just show up when you can. It's like I just said, it's a hobby, not a job. This is supposed to be fun, because you find it fun that we take it a little bit more seriously. You know, we're not the Air Force or the Navy or anything like that, but we, you know, we have our standards. We try and fly to it because that's what we find fun. So just doing it. That's really what I have to say. Because, you know, if it starts turning into a job, like that's not what we're here for. So just flying, having fun, whatever that may look like at the end of the day. Like, I have scheduled flights usually Tuesday, Saturday, and Sunday. And Sunday I just leave open for a Sunday fun day. So just, you know, things like that.
Sharko, thoughts on the balance?
So we just started with our schedule. That's finally up and running. But what I do want to say about the balance is that, as Free said, when something becomes a second job to you, it's no longer, I guess, a way to relieve your stress, like Chaos was saying, or a way to just have fun, right? And if you're expecting somebody to be like at a certain standard that's, like, quite frankly unachievable, then you're gonna kind of have this issue where people aren't gonna want to fly because they don't think they're good enough. They don't want to do this. They don't want to do that, right? And which is absolutely fair, right? which is why I think the biggest thing that you need to, I guess, emphasize in running a squadron is like learning. You can take a horse to water, but you can't make it drink, right? I'm not gonna shove docs down your throat, and I'm not gonna make you like memorize info and give you flashcards or whatever. It's if you want to learn, go for it, right? I hope you do want to, and you'll see the benefits coming out of it. But then again, I don't expect you to learn. Like, I don't expect you to come back to me with a whole like 2-page report, right? And I think
Same. I want reports from everybody. Remember, you guys remember? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Sharko. Remember when we used to write up debriefs, like flight debriefs in our last squadron?
Yes.
It's been 24 hours. Where's it at? Oh, but man, come on, dude.
It definitely started to feel like a grind and work.
Yeah.
Sorry, Sharko. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah.
And I think really what Free said is also exactly what I thought as well. Just generally having the community dynamic where you also have to remember that these are people that, have an outside life and also just want to come fly. Like, I think what Free has set up with the ZMFA 312 is great. You have people who just fly on Sundays, you said? Saturdays?
A couple days a week.
Yeah, there you go.
Usually Tuesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays.
Yeah, but if
anytime,
people want
really.
to do whatever they want, that's such a great thing because not only are you still building experience, but you're also building like the community dynamic, which I think really isn't emphasized enough. If you're just meeting up to come fly and then you leave, you're not going to really develop that sense of connection. And I think from there is when you can start, I guess, making a squadron not feel like a chore or a task, but more like a second home.
Yeah.
I like that.
Good
Yep,
point.
I like how you put that in there.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Well, and
we're serious about having fun. That's the best way to
that's a
put it.
good way to put that too.
So the one that
There's
sorry, go ahead.
Yeah,
I was just say that there's the point of a Milsim Squadron though is to train to a standard and try to get everyone a proficient at a set standard. And so that's like the long-term end goal when people join is to get them up to speed. But I think how you handle like you said, just having Sunday fun day or the attitude or tone with that leadership handles that training is a huge aspect in whether it becomes a grind or not. It is that you can take somebody and show them a standard and teach them and then give them criticism in a way that doesn't make them feel like they're a letdown or they don't belong.
Build them.
Build people up and still have it be fun. And as opposed to some of the experiences we've had where it's like, now that we're done, let me tell you where you suck and you need to do better. And I think that the personality in charge really kind of drives whether there's success behind that or not. I think you are both the right kind of person to be doing what you're doing.
And I remember actually my first Milsim Squadron I ever joined, and Scud was already a part of it and stuff like that. And I was famous for torpedoing the tankers. And Scud actually took the time to teach me how to tank properly in the Hornet. And my favorite piece of advice he always told me was, dude, you're just going to suck at it until you don't. It's just one day you're just not going to suck at it anymore. And you don't know when that's going to happen. It's just going to happen. And
It's
funny because he tells. I'm sorry. Go sorry. No, you're good. You're good.
So I got the exact same advice. I'm up there chasing the basket, and he's giving me the advice. He's like, "Hey, just hum a song. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes." He's like, "Hey, don't worry about it. You're just gonna suck at it until you don't." And I'm like, "Oh, thanks. That's fucking brilliant."
It doesn't help,
but
right?
then,
but it does help.
But then there's that moment where wiggle the toes, wiggle your fingers, sit back, and we were doing karaoke. Like, I'm not even joking. We started singing "Higher" by Creed, and within seconds,
he just started it.
Yeah.
I told
They're
Jimmy,
great
I'm
live,
like,
by the way.
Sing a song to yourself, and it'll distract your brain. And he's like, without
that's
even
where
hesitating.
that come from. Okay,
This is like our second or third time I've ever flown with Jimmy, and I'm like, just sing a song to yourself. And he goes, a song. I know Creed. Can you take me high? And he just starts singing like out of nowhere, like no shame whatsoever.
See,
but no, it was
like Jimmy, you don't have to hold the mic to sing. And he's like, yes, I do.
I'm in there like, oh.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, it hits, and it's that, you have to practice. You have to get a skill. It's what you guys are alluding to, training the standard. but there's tricks to getting there, and it's funny that you're going to suck until you don't. This moment you get it, you're like, oh, hey, it doesn't suck anymore,
And
Yeah.
I want to add on to that. In one of
go ahead, go
in one of
Sharko.
like the briefings for our fan flight, part of it, like the section of it is just like it's titled like Sharko's scuffed AAR tips, and like half it is like you're gonna suck, just like eventually get it. And like while I wanted to make a joke that the boom is better, this is great advice in general. So
If you
Well,
want, we can argue
I-
about it for 30 minutes.
Yeah. That'll take us to the end of the episode right there. An example without going in too deep into personalities. That contrasts what I was saying about making it enjoyable. The three of us hosts were in a Milsim Squadron, and it was a lot of fun. It started to get overbearing, and I remember one of the times it got overbearing was me and Jimmy were playing American Truck Simulator together, and we were both streaming.
oh yeah,
And the boss, came in and watched the stream, and then within 10 minutes of leaving our stream, blasted on the Discord for the Milsim Squadron that it really, really gets on his nerves to see squadron members playing other video games rather
No
than
way.
training. That was kind of the moment where I was like, this is not going the direction
No
it's supposed to
way.
be going here. That's where it started to feel like a job.
Yeah. And what's
Yeah.
what's funny is like there's a discussion that the three of us have just like kind of started having recently was how we might just take the podcast down to like two episodes a month. I know I'm just throwing this out here live on the air. Because we realize when we're flying anymore and
Surprise.
this is like becoming like a job. And we love doing it and everything like that, but I forgot how to start one of the planes. Because we haven't
Yeah.
flown in so long.
We need more playtime.
Yeah, we need
Yeah.
more playtime. And so, yeah, it's definitely always good to always like take a step back and do that kind of stuff. But yeah, serious about having fun. And especially like, I want to harp on the fact that, we train to the standards and stuff like that. It's so we can accomplish like the more complex missions. Cause I promise you, like, there's nothing cooler. Like, I actually don't care too much for the deployments that we're going to be doing, but like the red flag scenarios that we're going to do, like when you nail a red flag mission, like that's like the pinnacle of everything. And you come back and you're like, I can't believe we just pulled that off.
Yeah.
Like everything that we've just like
Good stuff.
worked our asses off for to get here. And you're like, I can't believe we just pulled it off. And it was the coolest thing ever. And then
Yeah, as a team, like a cohesive, well
yeah.
oiled team.
And then
Yeah.
you hammer somebody in the
Um,
debrief about busting the Area 51 airspace.
it's
You take their,
It's
their
like the
virtual
little
pilot
things,
wings
yeah.
away.
um
The halfway point here. Oh,
I was
sorry.
like,
Go ahead,
it's
Shark.
like the little things that kind of give you a sense of accomplishment. Like the first time
Yeah.
I was able to recover, like a 2-ship or even a 4-ship, like to run the pattern and everybody gets down with good enough spacing. That was like such an accomplishment. And although it sounds like small, it's literally the last part of the flight. It's like we've nailed this pattern
Tried
like,
it in a
so
Hornet.
well. Hey, Viper.
Yeah. Try it around the
At least
boat.
you
try it around
stand
the boat.
landing, man.
Marshall
traps.
stack.
Especially in chaps. Is that what you said, Fifi?
Yeah.
No,
Assless
I
chaps.
said traps, not chaps. You know what? I'm done with you
What
guys.
is
That's
your
a sticker right there.
What does your sim pit look like, dude?
All right, we're at the halfway point. So I've got a question for the two guests.
It's a bicycle
and
seat
then-
without
and then,
without the seat. Anyways,
and then Fifi's got some questions. I'm gonna just because we know Fifi won't let it go.
Ooh,
We'll ask the question.
the meat and
You
potatoes.
guys know the question I'm gonna ask.
you guys have
Tom Cruise is Ethan Hunt in a Mustang, or Sean Connery?
you guys have every
as
opportunity
James
right
Bond
now
in a
to make me
Spitfire.
proud.
Just remember, there's this there we Scud and I have higher Discord permissions than Fifi for a reason. So you guys
So,
you guys are in a
us-
safe place.
Sharko, you can go first on that.
Well, I'll start off by saying I don't warbird often, but I genuinely think that the Spitfire is a nicer aircraft just by looks. And
But what
Sean
about the
Connery
people?
was the best James Bond. So I think I have to go with Sean Connery in the Spitfire.
I lock shot.
Fifi's falling out of his chair. Free, do you want to just push him all the way out, or
Yeah.
you
Gotta
gonna
roll back in.
disappoint us?
I'll push him off his
Oh,
assless
yeah.
seat.
No, that's
I
perfect.
will burn down everybody's houses.
You're the only one that has the widely distributed mailing address, dude. So I think we're all safe.
Well, I gotta be careful because you can see all this wood around. But I mean, I gotta go with Sean Connery. I mean, that
Oh my
dude just
God.
exudes
This,
just
about
you
to
know
crash
that
out. No.
British
shut the hell up.
yo,
No, I'm crashing out.
suave.
Right?
It's like I don't know the exact word.
Swagger.
He just
Swagger.
swagger. Yeah, because he looks like you put on a crisp ass flight suit. Not even the flight suit. He's gonna put on like an officer uniform, maybe have a pipe, and just go up there. And
Over the canopy.
I think you guys were talking about this before, where one of our guys, Silent, he will tell you what he's doing in the air as he's killing you. I feel like you do the same exact thing, just like how you do in James Bond.
No, honestly, like crack the canopy open a bit, smoke through it.
Oh, here's
Fifi,
he's gone
well,
full
Grey
bit.
Wolf. If Grey Wolf is watching, I think Fifi's now 1 in 10.
I'm just gonna sit down here and do the rest of the podcast away from the camera.
You got to stand up
so
because you
can't-
got the next question.
so you can't see my crying.
You got the back and forth rapid fire questions now.
That's why he has the blurred background, so you can't see the tears.
I'm super disappointed in everybody right now. I just want to point that out, and I'm also announcing my retirement from this podcast. So, all right.
I thought you'd be
Fifi's throwing
mad
his
not to
toys out of the
supply
crib.
After
Thought we graduated to that.
after that extremely disappointing round of questions, let's do some rapid fire questions. So
Deal.
these are questions nobody's seen before. Actually,
It
I
is
gotta give
not in
credit.
the notebook.
Yep, nothing in the notebook.
Yeah.
Actually, I gotta give credit to Scud for coming up with the questions. I'm just the idiot that delivers them because we got to give me a win at some point in time in this podcast. God, I'm so disappointed. So, rapid fire questions. You guys ready? I'll call you guys out and then I'll ask the question.
Lock, cocked, ready to rock. Let's go.
All right, here we go. We'll start with Sharko. Sharko, how many PowerPoint briefings does it take to kill morale?
I'd go with more than 5.
Optimistic.
Free, what's your punishment for showing up without the right loadout? Because I know you're a big fan of the double ugly and I hate it. So,
Definitely the taxi to shame to the maintenance area.
ooh, nice.
Virtual push-ups.
Oh man. All right, all right. Sharko, do you run a Milsim Squadron or are you just a full-time tech support agent with admin rights?
All of the above.
Okay.
It's so true.
Free, what is your squad? What is the squadron's most used phrase? Like RTB, who's on guard? What's everybody? What's the most used thing what's the most used phrase you hear?
That is a great question. Like you said, I haven't thought of it. If I have to be depart and re-enter.
Yeah, that's fair. That's and Sharko for
Or
the non,
actually, no, I'm gonna change that. Bolter, bolter, bolter. 100%.
Yes, yes.
100%.
It's so true.
Sharko,
That's good.
have you ever started a mission briefing knowing full well that no one's read the op board?
Yeah.
Painful.
Actually, you know what, Free? This is a good question from the other night when we went and flew the Growling Sidewinder server. By the way, shout out to everybody who showed up for that. That was
Dude, that was a blast.
Awesome.
That was a blast.
that was so good.
I wish we had it recorded when Jimmy and I were, and then Vader later on.
Slinging
We were
towels.
just dialing up this beautiful chainsaw. It was so fun.
So here's a question: what's more dangerous, enemy Red Force Sams, or the blue pilots behind you?
Definitely the Death Dorito below me.
Hey, jeez, yeah.
Or blue on
I mean,
the
real
wing.
talk though, it was definitely Jimmy. Definitely Jimmy's name 120.
Yep. We had an incident.
All right, Sharko, if you had to tattoo one rule for the squadron on your forehead, what would it be?
Do good.
Do good. Do
gooder.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's fair enough. I think that's good enough for questions here.
Before we move on with the rest of the Milsim stuff, I'll throw something out for one of our sponsors, if that's all right. For those that have made it halfway through and not given up on us yet. Fox 3 Managed Solutions is one of our sponsors. So first off, thanks to them for sponsoring us and putting a lot of faith in us and investing in us. But they have a tournament of their own going on, and we want to throw it out and advertise that. It's on October 11th. You can go to their Discord. You can go to their, I think it's on their Facebook page as well, to find the Discord link to sign up. But they have prizes being given out for a timed course. So they've got a course set up, and you get to sign up, and they're going to time the fastest jets through the rings or through the gates. That's what I'm looking for, the word the gates. And so if you're interested in that, go hit up the Fox 3 Discord and sign up for that. And I don't know what the details on the prizes are, but they do have prizes. This is being put on by Fox 3 and Ghost Unit.
How I play hip games.
Yep.
So he's doing it.
It looks something like this, just going back and forth.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be around. I'm going to be out of town, but man, when I heard about it, I was like, immediately went there. I wanted to sign up and fly it.
Yeah, Scud's got to go get some milk from the store.
Mm-hmm.
She's gonna leave us here.
Just like your intros, you need to work on your content, dude.
You need to work on that scraggly beard right there. Like that cowlick coming out the side of your face.
Yeah,
Look at
it's
that.
It's beard trim time.
I think I heard the Vipers, Bitch and Betty say bingo, so we need to get back to the Milsim stuff before he's got to go home.
That's fair.
At least we
So-
don't break the gear on the ground though, so we're good.
Oh,
If I need to bring up the Fifi
I-
landing, I will. But
forever immortalized. I was gonna come over and fly Viper with you guys for a little bit too, just to get
I mean,
good.
you're welcome if you can land it.
So-
but
Jimmy, you got something?
I do. So you guys obviously have been around DCS for a little bit. You guys specialize in the Viper and the Angry Bug. Can you give me maybe your other one or two modules that aren't part of like the streamline, top 5? So no Tomcat, no Viper, no Hornet. What are your other, say, 2 favorite modules that you like to, bum around in, and why?
Okay, so one of the reasons I like the 18 in the first place was the switchology and the McDonnell Douglas system. And do you know what else we have that is McDonnell Douglas aircraft? The F4 Phantom. And it just, it speaks to me. I love Cold War stuff. If I'm deep diving on history, usually it's around that timeline. And it's just a bear to fly, but when you do something right in it, it is the most rewarding thing ever. Especially if Jester tells you, because normally he just, gives me shit. So
He's a harsh critic.
he is.
really is.
Luckily, we can say it because he's not here right now.
It's funny. We shoot him
Um,
messages all the time. We tell him how much we're like. You know what you said to me the other day? He's like, yeah, I know, I get it.
Well, see, Free says the Phantom, which is a fantastic module. That's not what I thought you were going to say. I thought you were going to say the Hind.
That was going to be the number 2. While I am possibly the organization's worst heli pilot, that might be debatable, but I've got to be down there.
Not debatable,
That
challenge.
thing.
There's a lot of us that fill that
Well,
role.
I will say, just like the F4 Phantom, the thing is a hog to fly. And like in our normal campaigns that we run, I don't really make it back ever because I find a new way to stall the thing every single time. It is quite unbelievable, frankly. But it is so rewarding when you can actually do something successfully. And then just, it's iconic. I just love it. So
It is
just more
iconic.
Cold War stuff.
The alligator is cool. It's a cool helicopter. Sharko, come on. You got probably some really cool one-offers.
yeah, I was gonna go with the Phantom, and I guess that'll still be my first pick because that's the aircraft that I do fly the most out of the Viper. I guess outside of the Viper. For me, it's not like the Switchology, but it's number 1. It's a multi-crew aircraft, which like if you get a guy in the back seat, preferably who like doesn't know how to lock onto planes and accidentally locks onto mountains. Totally not speaking from
Shout out
experience.
Black
But I just love the attention to detail in the module. Like, if you lock onto that mountain, that missile will guide to that mountain. Like, um, but the sound design is also really satisfying. The way they've done it, you can pretty much be on the edge of flight, and it's a really challenging experience, yet also just something that makes you keep coming back. In terms of my second aircraft, I'll stick with the fixed wings, and I'm gonna go with the JF-17, which I know is a bit of a weird choice, but I honestly have loved just picking it up and learning it over the past couple of months. And while I'm still not fully there yet, or where I'd want to be, because the Viper keeps me distracted, but I love having a modern jet that's also not, I guess, like using the standard NATO systems, right? Like, there's no Link 16 in that thing. You have like a scuffed Chinese data link, but it's still pretty good. It's just there's a lot of stuff that you kind of have to like go around and wrap your head around, especially coming from like a NATO jet point of view. And I love the weapons on it. They're really unique. Having like the glide bombs, they're like JDAMs in NATO talk, but with wing hits. So those are really cool.
I didn't know it had those.
Yeah, you can do 250s or 500s. Those are kilos as well, so 500 kilogram.
What's a
Like
kilogram?
a small diameter bomb.
No, but it's really cool.
2.2 pounds.
I also
2.2
love
pounds.
like it's like
Kilograms.
the most modern jet I think we have in DCS. Like, you pretty much have iPads as your MFDs, and you can kind of do some like split action. And yeah, there's some limitations to it that are really quirky, but I think a lot of people like come to love those limitations and kind of just like love the aircraft for it. And generally, I'd say that the JF-17 has become one of my favorites that I keep going back to.
I think the jets that have the quirks are the ones I like. I haven't flown the JF, but I think the more unique the aircraft, like either systems or flight model is,
Oh, the flame ball is great
the
on the
more it
JF.
appeals.
That's another thing. It's probably one of the most polished ones I've seen on a modern jet.
Yeah, I think you need to tell the story about the very unique aircraft that you were flying the other night that I jumped in. I jumped into the Discord with you, and you're like, check out what I'm flying. And
Yeah, I downloaded and did a trial of the I-16 just because I wanted to see what that was like. I kind of was toying with the idea of seeing if I could like it, and then practicing in it, and then jumping into the dogfight tournament for the Warbirds is like probably the only person that would jump in that I-16. Yeah, that was interesting.
Do the Mirage 2000 treatment.
Yeah, I don't know that that'd work. It turns like it'll turn inside of a Spitfire or a 109, but it has no power. But the worst part of the module is putting the landing gear up, because it's like you have to unlock the gear, and then you have to set this lever, and then you have to unlock this lever, and then you have to crank. I think it's like 47 cranks, and there's no like binding that just says crank this for me. So you have to like put the mouse on it, and you have to spin the mouse wheel 47 times and watch this crank slowly move to go up. And it's like, oh my God, just give me a cheater. Just give me a switch that tells the gear to come up. No, it doesn't do that.
yeah, there's that one. And then
I do have
and
a-
then when it falls with gravity, we try to figure out if the cable's catching the wind, it won't. The gear
Yeah.
won't go
If you're
down.
too fast when you put the gear down, the gear doesn't come all the way down, but the cables like trail in the wind behind the plane. The cables that pull it up. It's
That's
Interesting.
fantastic.
Could you imagine having to circle the field, like trying to get your landing gear down? You have to poop. Like,
just a couple more cranks.
just
I
letting that
love the
gear
low
down.
attention to detail stuff that developers do. That's like what makes the module for me.
Yeah. I do have an off-topic funny story. I can make it a short one. You said that if your backseater locks up the mountain with the radar, because radars see terrain and they also see weather. I was flying a B-52 to Guam one time, and it was a beautiful day. And it's very common, if there's weather, for the radar operator with no windows downstairs to paint weather and then ask us if we see the weather outside, and then we'll work as a team to avoid it. And so we're flying, and the radar operator calls up and says, "Hey, do you see a storm off the nose?" I'm like, it's clear in a million, dude. Beautiful Pacific weather. He's like, no, there's definitely a storm off the nose. I'm like, yeah, I don't see anything. Co-pilot, do you see anything? And he's like, no. And we're both looking at a beautiful, clear day. And he's like, well, there's definitely a giant thunderstorm right directly off the nose, 100 miles off the nose. And I go, hey, what else is 100 miles off the nose? He's like, there's a pause and you can hear him sigh and he goes, Guam. I was like, yeah. The thunderstorm you're painting, we're going to land on it.
That's a call sign right there.
That's thunderstruck.
It's a call sign moment right there.
Thunderstruck. That's funny. So I guess I had one more as we're kind of getting near the end about the Milsim topic. What do you think the hardest part has been standing up a squadron? Or what's your lesson for people that are wanting to do the same? I guess those kind of tie together.
Yeah. I think the way that I approach things usually, and it doesn't help that I brought a notebook to this, is like on the back end, I wanted to create a nice product that I could give out as like one big just push so people can refer to things and it's all making sense so they understand the standards that we're going to fly to. And creating that big push, some early briefings and documentation, an SOP, a training syllabus, some knee boards, all that stuff, while making sure it's from NATOPS or from firsthand experiences. That was definitely the biggest push. After that, not so bad, but that early on push was huge.
Yeah.
Sharko?
Hardest part, I think, is just banning people to fly, right? Like, you gotta get everybody together for your first couple flights and get flying. For free, I can definitely see how that's hard, because it was for me as well. But I think what helped me a lot was I had like an ungodly amount of manuals somewhere on my PC that I could just Control-C, Control-V, done. Except for writing the SOP. But getting everybody to fly together is a big thing, especially in your initial stages. You have to ask for schedules, and if one isn't conform to another, you kind of have to think, how can I help cater this person? Because I don't want to be that person that's just like, I can't fly with you. And I know Free's working on that as well, for example, with like people in EU time zones. Even though
Just going to say something about that. Yeah.
So it's really a beautiful thing once you get everybody flying together, because there's kind of like a harmony created where everybody expects each other to show up, do their job, fly together, and have fun.
I think
I will say to that point that my second in command, Vader, he has far more availability just with the nature of his life. And he has been instrumental at just flying. Like I'm quite available, but he's even more so. So he's always someone that people can gravitate towards as coming out to fly. So that was, that's wonderful. And I just got to give a shout out to the community that we have at BMFA 312. They just want to fly and in any capacity. And they do a lot of stuff just, by themselves, but they just want to fly. That's the number one thing.
Yeah, if the inmates running the asylum. Because I do want to go back to something that Sharko mentioned that I want to give credit to both of you guys for about is coming up with the whole. I mean, the squadrons are big enough. Like, you guys have enough people, to where you guys have managed to be able to have like a U.S. time zone and an EU time zone, or at least like an East and West hemisphere groups within the squadron. So that way everybody can kind of get together and train together and stuff like that. And I think that's such a cool concept that you guys managed to pull off, and then which is all bound together by that central SOP document that everybody has, because everybody knows exactly what needs to be done and how things need to be flown, and you just kind of let everybody go off and do it, and it's wonderful. What in the hell are you doing, Jimmy?
Why are you holding a mic like that, dude?
Because I'm comfortable. I'm sitting back behind me and like
so comfy.
I'm just super comfy right here like this.
Dude finally gets a mic and he's like,
dude,
I'm essential with it.
Freddie Mercury with it.
It's soft and it's just fuzzy.
Couple even.
It even has a little light on it. But anyways, yeah.
I have a little bit of a follow-up question. So DCS has a very wide range of content that you can create, whether it be missions or training or fun or just, messing with mods. You can jump in and, hot start stuff, just go have fun and rage, like arcade style, or you can transition into that full, organized group. For the player who loves DCS, who, finds a little bit more satisfaction in this game over other flight sims, what advice would you give to somebody to transition from kind of like that informal, server hunter into a, maybe they have that group of like 3-4 homies, they fly together on Gray Flag all the time. At what point or what advice would you give them to create more of an organized environment?
I would say just, having your core group of people. But one thing that I found, even before I joined this group here is, like on Gray Flake, for example, because it is a touch more serious than like a Growling Sidewinder. Because my point with this is with SRS, I found a couple people that were absolutely amazing just from, talking on SRS, and then eventually we go over and do our own thing. And just being able to kind of acquire people through organic means, or, finding other like-minded individuals and just bringing them all together. Because in the end, people just want community if they are searching for that sort of thing. So finding together small clumps, like you have, your core group of, let's say, 5 people, and you find another group of 2, and then you bring them in, and just slowly over time. Because like, for example, with this group here, or our Milsim organizations, that, it started out with just a couple people, but slowly over time, it just grows and grows and grows. So just, just being open, being a friendly face, and just, just talking, creating a community that you would want to be a part of. Because if you want to be a part of it, other people would want to.
Yeah. I totally agree with that. When I was starting off and I wanted to find a group of people to fly with, when I eventually stepped into multiplayer, for me it was just like a simple chat message inside DCS, like saying, "Does anybody want to fly a strike together? Contact me on whatever radio frequency." And if a guy pulled up, we'd fly, and then land and exchange Discord, and just fly again. And eventually kind of just start building up like a core group, and they can introduce you to new people, and then you kind of just form like a group where you just get on and fly for the fun of it. I think a lot of my experiences were very weird in the sense that while I did meet a couple people through that, I actually met a lot of people in the 4YA Aeromax Online server. So where people just decide to fly like big formations, or like showcase their aerobatic skill, I would just join up on their wing and say, "Can I fly with you guys?" And normally they say, "Yeah, sure, absolutely, come fly with us." Invite you to the Discord, whatever. Or other times you just stick on their wing and be a bit annoying. But people are generally welcoming if you just ask. Like, I think a big thing is don't expect people to come to you. But if you like initiate conversation or like try and put in an effort, you're gonna find a group really easily, and you're gonna really enjoy flying.
Yeah, shout out to you guys for creating that environment. And if anybody's like scared of joining, like what we said earlier at the beginning of the episode was like, our motto is just go fly. So if you just want to come and fly, just come fly with us.
And in addition to that is, at least in my organization, and I know it goes to Sharko's as well, is one of my tenets is we don't have a barrier to entry. Like, you do need how to not fall out of the sky, I guess. But like, besides that, we just want someone who, just wants to fly, but we don't have a huge barrier. Like, don't be afraid to, whether it's, any organization or, a Milsim organization like ours, just check it out. Don't be afraid. Everyone is nice. We're not going to bite. And it is by far, just it's not a judgmental place at all. We just all want to have fun in all walks of life, all skill levels. Just come on out and say hi.
Yeah, absolutely.
Show up with a good attitude and
Yeah.
a passion for the game, and they'll get you the rest of the way.
And
That's
stay
the
away from
only thing we
this-
ask.
And stay away from glue. He's kind of mean.
But yeah,
And
like,
Fifi
He's
bites.
awesome.
Who?
so
I think the nicest guy.
Yeah,
Just catching strays
He's
over
a nice
here.
guy. It just, if you're gonna throw shade at him, throw shade at him always sending pictures of him in his jet with short shorts on.
And the hoochie
Sorry,
daddy,
well, hoochie
hoochie daddy general aviation
But,
shorts. Yeah.
Sharko, you
I
were
was
saying
gonna
something.
add to free here. Like, I don't really want to turn people down, right? Like, when you come to like a squadron like Freeze or mine, the V39, the big thing is like if you have the I guess want to fly,
Desire.
the desire to fly, you're gonna eventually like go through
Passion and support.
yeah, passion support pretty much, right? You're gonna go through the docks regardless, because just out of that passion. And you're gonna eventually learn. So I don't ask for somebody to be like the best of the best. I ask them to be eager to learn. Because no matter what, if you have that learning mindset going in, you're gonna get you get what you put in, right? So if you're gonna put a lot of work into actually learning, whether that's out of passion or because you want to just be flying, you're gonna get a lot out of it. And the thing is, if you're not at that level yet, but you really want to you enjoy the idea of having a Milsim squadron to be part of, I will just send people to a great group that we're also partnered with called Take Flight. And they will get you trained up. And I always offer that path. Like, if you just want to fly like the Viper, Take Flight offers courses. So you can go take the course and then come back, right? I'm not stopping you. I'm not turning you down I'm not just turning you around. I'm saying, maybe sidestep a bit and then come back and you'll be ready.
Yeah. And
Yeah, Take Flight is great.
one thing I would add to that is Take Flight is a huge organization, and they specialize in taking digital pilots off the street, brand new to downloading the game. And they have a core group of cadre who have a passion for literally starting with keybinds, how does flight work, things like that. We actually have a brand new, so these guys have another sister squadron, and it's the VF1, the Tomcats, but they're brand new, and we would have the commander here as well, but he's going to be in another episode in the future because he's going to be a subject matter expert for that one. But another thing I would add to that is there's two resources. If you're looking for a group to fly with, you don't have to go out to, Podbean or YouTube or anything like that, and, download, subscribe to High Alpha Hooligans, although that does make you a successful person in life,
Sure, it's true.
Do it.
Nine,
You should.
yeah.
You should.
Studies show that 10 out of 10 people who subscribe and like and comment on our podcasts are happier people.
Yeah, 100%.
And
That's
you're
science-
even happier if you actually choose Tom Cruise and the freaking Mustang.
Objection.
Whoa.
Oh, easy.
Yeah. Anyways,
I'm
so
upset.
two more places. If our sponsor Fox 3, Luck over Fox 3, one of the great things he has built into his website is he has the partner organizations, and that is the pro level organizations. We're one of them, but 51st Fighter Wing, all those groups are listed in there along with their discords, so you can go in and look at time zones they're in, what they specialize in. There's profiles that they fly. You can look on fox3managed-solutions.com and see all these organizations that they're partnered with, because there's a ton. And then also, if you just go to Google and search Digital Combat Simulator user squadrons, there's ED also has a vetting process where you can submit your unit, and you'll have Discord links, times, contact information, and they will do the same thing. And that repository for groups around the world are huge. It's even broken down to the primary spoken language for the different organizations. So if you're in some country and you're looking for like-minded people to elevate your game, go check out that list and that repository as well, because that's an excellent tool that I think is overlooked a lot for people looking for people to fly with.
We got to get you guys on that one.
It's like the
Yeah.
phone book of squadrons. You just scroll down,
Yes, it is.
Huge.
find the time zone, find the language, fly.
And circling back to the time zone thing and the VMFA 312 starting the EU side of things. One of our big IPs is Mario from Take Flight. So if you've seen him there, he is extraordinary, and he will just, if you have any instruction with him, he will take you and run with it. So we have some excellent people that will help you out. So if you're on the US side, or out in the EU or Asia, or we've got some people that are upside down in Australia, all over the place. Don't worry about where you're at. We have a spot for you.
Good.
One thing, if I could, before we start wrapping up, talking about just people to fly with. This last week we did our first Come Fly With Us. It was on Thursday night, and I think it's going to be something that we're going to carry on. Fifi and I had a talk 2 or 3 weeks ago, and we're like, because we're discussing server content, for our servers, and we're like, hey, we need to give more for people. And this is like literally, he and I went, we had a conversation for like 8 or 9 hours, like brainstorming how to get more people involved. One with, the High Alpha Hooligans, the 56 operations group, the virtual group that we run, but also the listeners and just everybody out there. And on Thursday night, we did our first High Alpha Hooligans server raid, which was absolutely fantastic. And we said, what better way to test our mettle than Growling Sidewinder? And we took 16 people from just an open invite from all the listeners and all the pilots and said, hey, come fly with us Thursday night. I think it was like 8 o'clock Eastern, and it was, I don't know. Can you describe it for me, Free? Like, how did that?
I would call it organized chaos. Because it was funny, because you and I and Vader, we didn't even have weapons. We just went out with falls and just to mess with people. And we had the Tomcats doing Tomcat things, and Fifi, looking at the tops of trees and the Death Dorito. It was just, was organized chaos. And, that's, just going back to the thing of just fly. It was just, we're just flying. We didn't do it in a Milsim setting, but just the community itself, we're just doing things and flying in some fashion or another.
Yeah. You forgot to mention the part where Fifi died in his Mirage 12 times. Not that I was there, but I already knew it was happening. And also, I love how you hit them with that, like...
It was only 11.
It was
got
only
the
11.
tally.
I love how you hit them with that, like, element of surprise with the talents. Because, like, nobody was expecting that.
Nobody.
I know Chaos and I ran it a couple hours prior to the event, and, like, people were so confused. It was so funny.
Just, dude, all you see is like this wall, because I dropped 612s. We did a big racetrack. We come back and we just see everybody from the other side just like nuking these like towns, and we're just flying through, and they're Winchester, and we're just like picking them off one at a time there. It was fantastic. But just as pat Fifi on the back. He had a great moment. He was being a part of the community, and Free and I were in the pattern, and we're coming back, and he's like, wait, you guys are actually landing?
It's true. It's true. I was not having luck in that. Like I really didn't die to enemy fire too much. I just kept cratering myself because I would get into a dive running away from something.
Oh, my PC crashed.
Yeah.
To be fair, you ran onto a spam ram server with a Mirage with Fox ones only, filled with hope and delusion. So
I'm telling you, it actually did really well. But the problem was I was also competing with
11 deaths, 12 deaths.
With it, yeah. But I got a few kills. My kill ratio was like
it actually
0.63.
worked.
Okay.
Because
I was competing with that Kiowa down low though. Like there was a Kiowa guy just raging down there. So I was like, man, I'm gonna have to move over to a different spot. And that's when I started like cratering myself into trees and mountainsides and stuff.
It did. So in his defense, it did work, because we did have a massive wall of everything from like 20,000 to 45,000 with just Phoenixes and 120 Charlies flying at people. And we would push people down in the trees every couple minutes. And there's Fifi just down there, like big grin hanging out the side of his cockpit. He's like, you're in my playground now.
Yeah. Just pulls up and sends a Fox.
Thought you got away.
Welcome to the dungeon. It puts the lotion on its skin.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's the testimonial that I was trying to get to, is just go fly. even if you're part of like this huge professional organization, whether you're just flying with friends, the big thing I think about this episode is just go fly.
There's a
I
place
agree.
for anyone at any skill level, any like I guess seriousness level, from Milsim to regular, just to hang out with a few friends and not even taking off to shooting the shit on the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just go
Yeah,
fly
it's
is
all
a great
there.
model. Our motto. So
Yep, I like that. Well, as we wrap up, I want to mention the giveaway from the last episode that Grey Wolf talked about. We said we'd give it a week, but based on the recording schedule and when this episode comes out, it won't be quite a week. So what we're going to do is we'll make the decision here at about the week mark. Join the Discord. There's a poll that might help put you on the radar for the Heapler module, and then just jump in and say, what was it? I love, what did you want people to say, Jimmy?
I love the Phantom.
I love the
Everybody said I
Phantom.
love the
Yep.
Phantom.
Yeah, I think we're up to like
Yeah.
30 or 40 entries in this.
Good.
Yeah.
I love the
That'll put you on
Phantom.
the radar. Either get a little bit more time. Well, I say a little bit more time, but the announcement of who will win will be on the next episode. And then, as if you have heard Fifi mention, there's a potential that episodes aren't going to be coming out every week. I think it's going to be just based on our schedule. So we're gonna strive for 2 per month, 1 every 2 weeks. But I think based on schedules, there may still be weekly episodes on occasion.
We have
but
other ideas
it
for
just-
content that we're going to try. If you guys like the new stuff,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
subscribe,
that's-
follow.
Something we've been messing with, and also we just want to go fly. We want to do other stuff. So there'll be more community events in between episodes. I think that's going to be the big thing.
I think the last thing I wanted to say, if he's out there watching and has hung on to the end of the episode, Toby, get well. We're waiting for you to feel better, and we've got the cockpit warmed up for you when you get back with us. So
yeah.
And the LSO
we'll see
station
when you
is
get
like
back.
a little bit quiet, so we want to have you back and wishing the best for you, buddy.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Agreed. Jimmy, closing dad words.
Ooh, actually, yeah. So it is important anytime you share a plane with Fifi, just so you don't get that delusion on your hands, make sure you bring some Clorox wipes.
Wow,
a lot of hand sanitizer.
I can't believe this place. I'm out.
Some
I'm
toilet
done with
paper.
this place.
Rifle kazoo.